Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Skyrim. We're gonna go talk to, Serana's mom.
So how has it come to pass that a vampire hunter is in the company of my daughter?
Ah, you
It
know.
pains me to think you'd travel with Serana under the guise of her protector in an effort to hunt me down.
No, that's not why. You know, I want to keep her safe.
Coming from one who murders vampires as a trade, I find it hard to believe your intentions are noble. Serana has sacrificed everything to prevent Harkon from completing the prophecy. I would have expected her to explain that to you.
That's why I'm here for the Elder Scroll.
You think I'd have the audacity to place my own daughter in that tomb for the protection of her Elder Scroll alone? The scrolls are merely a means to an end. The key to the tyranny of the sun is Serana herself.
Huh? What do you mean?
When I fled Castle Volkihar, I fled with 2 Elder Scrolls. The scroll I presume you found with Serana speaks of Ariel and his arcane weapon, Ariel's bow. The second scroll declares that the blood of Cold Harbor's daughter will blind the eye of the dragon.
Huh? How does Serana fit in?
Like myself, Serana was a human once. We were devout followers of Lord Molig Bal.
That's probably a bad idea.
Tradition dictates the females be offered to Molig Bal on his summoning day. Few survive the ordeal. Those that do emerge as a pure-blooded vampire. We call such confluences the Daughters of Cold Harbor.
Serana went this ritual willingly?
It was expected of her, just as it was expected of me. Being selected as an offering to Molig Bal is an honor. She wouldn't have dared turn her back on that.
Cold Harbor?
It's what some call the domain of Molig Bal. His place in oblivion.
The tyranny of the sun requires Serana's blood?
Now you're beginning to see why I wanted to protect Serana, and why I've kept the other Elder Scroll as far from her as possible.
Are you saying Harkon means to kill her?
If Harkon obtained Ariel's bow, and Serana's blood was used to taint the weapon, the tyranny of the sun would be complete. In his eyes, she'd be dying for the good of all vampires.
Oh, good. I would never allow that to
How
happen.
exactly do you plan on stopping him?
I mean, I'll need your help.
Have you been listening to me? Like Serana, I'm a pure-blooded vampire. My presence on Tamriel is as much of a danger as hers.
And Serana's opinion on this?
You care nothing for Serana, or our plight. Whether or not you've become one of us in order to survive the Soul Cairn, you're still a vampire hunter at heart. You're here because we're abominations in your mind. Evil creatures that need to be destroyed.
Serana believes in me, why won't you?
Serana? This stranger aligns himself with those that would hunt you down and slay you like an animal. Yet I should entrust you to him.
This stranger has done more for
I'm
me in the
still
brief
here.
time I've known him than you've done in centuries.
How dare you? I gave up everything I cared about to protect you from that fanatic you call a father.
Yes, he's a fanatic. He's changed. But he's still my father. Why can't you understand how that makes me feel?
If you'd only open your eyes.
This is
Your
really,
father discovers your role in the prophecy,
awkward.
That he needs your blood. You'll be in terrible danger.
So to protect me, you decided to shut me away from everything I cared about. You never asked me if hiding me in that tomb was the best course of action. You just expected me to follow you blindly. Both of you were obsessed with your own paths. Your motivations might have been different, but in the end,
I've got your back.
On to you too. I want us to be a family again. But I don't know if we can ever have that.
I'm right behind
Maybe
you.
we don't deserve that kind of happiness. Maybe it isn't for us. We have to stop him
I've got your back.
before he goes too far. And to do that, we need the Elder Scroll.
I'm sorry, Serana.
I've got your back.
I didn't know. I didn't see. I've allowed my hatred of your father to estrange us for too long. Forgive me. If you want the Elder Scroll, it's yours. Your intentions are still somewhat unclear to me, but for Serana's sake, I'll assist you in any way that I can.
Do you have the Elder Scroll?
Yes. I've kept it safely secured here ever since I was imprisoned.
Oh, that's easy.
Fortunately, you seem to have already killed the keepers maintaining the barrier around these ruins.
I work very quickly. Does that mean you can take us to it now?
Yes. Please, follow me. One more word of warning. There's a dragon that calls itself Durnavir roaming the camp. The Ideal Masters have charged him with overseeing the keepers, and will undoubtedly investigate the fact that the barrier has fallen.
I've got your back.
Oh, good. A dragon in here? Okay. That does not seem good. What do you have over here? Paper, immortal blood. Potion recipe, cure disease. Interesting. Very interesting. Why would she have a cure disease potion? Anyway, moving on. I'm totally not going to answer that question. Not yet, anyway.
I don't think I could be doing this alone.
I have a feeling that this looks like an arena.
I hear something. Where'd you come from?
Alright, do I have Dragon Run? No, I don't, but that's fine. Get down here. What are you doing? Oh, get down here, you dragon. Hey! Yeah, so he uses some shouts on you that aren't that nice, but is really not that hard to kill. You also can't really search him or anything like that because he just sort of disappears. He's not corporeal like normal dragons.
Forgive my astonishment, but I never thought I'd witness the death of that dragon.
What makes you say that?
Volumes written on Durnavir allege that he can't be slain by normal means. It appears they were mistaken. Unless
Go on.
the soul of a dragon is as resilient as its owner's scaly hide. It's possible that your killing blow has merely displaced Durnavir's physical form while he reconstitutes himself.
How long will that take?
Minutes, hours, years. I can't even begin to guess. I suggest we don't wait around to find out. Now, let's get you the Elder Scroll, and you can be on your way.
Okay. However, we're not going to do that. We're going to take a look around because there's a couple of other things that we can do, especially with that dragon. Although I don't remember when/where you do the dragon stuff. Can't remember if it's here or if it's like as you're leaving or something. Maybe it's just as you're leaving. I don't remember. Anyway. Are you gonna go get the damned Elder Scroll or what? Well, she opens the box. There's the Elder Scroll. He has a bunch of like stuff around here. Nothing that we really need or anything like that, but yeah.
What did you want?
You know what I mean.
But we will, however, take that.
That's it. That's the last scroll. Come on, let's take it to Dexcan.
Mortal blood, huh? And take that too. Effects of the Elder Scrolls, that's something interesting. We already have the Book of Life as Service. Magic from the Sky I'll take. Okay. And On Oblivion is a fairly common book.
Now that you've
All right.
the Elder Scroll, you should be on your way.
You're staying here?
I have no choice. As I told you before, I'm a daughter of Cold Harbor. If I return to Tamriel, that increases Harkon's likelihood of bringing the tyranny of the sun to fruition.
We could use your help in Tamriel.
As much as it pains me to send you and Serana back, I can't take the risk. Remember that Harkon is not to be trusted. No matter what he promises, he'll deceive you in order to get what he wants. And promise me you'll keep my daughter safe. She's the only thing of value I have.
Okay.
Did you have anything to ask before you depart?
Yeah, if I leave the Soul Cairn, can I safely return?
You've been traveling in the Soul Cairn. Your body has become attuned to it. Let's just say a tiny part of you rubbed off on it. And in its place, a bit of the Soul Cairn filled the void. You should find no difficulty using the portal any longer.
Okay. How did you become imprisoned here?
When I entered the Soul Cairn, I had intended to strike a bargain with the Ideal Masters, the custodians of this place.
What was the bargain?
I requested refuge in the Soul Cairn, and in exchange, I would provide the Ideal Masters the souls that they crave. If I had foreseen the value they placed on my own soul, I would never have come here.
They tricked you.
The Ideal Masters unleashed their keepers and sent them to destroy me. Fortunately, I was able to hold them at bay and retreat into these ruins.
You became trapped.
Unfortunately, yes. Since the keepers weren't able to claim my soul, they had their minions construct a barrier that I'd never be able to reach.
You've been in prison here for all this time?
Has very little meaning to me. Consequently, it has little meaning to the Ideal Masters as well. I suppose you could call this the ultimate waiting game. Each watching the other, so each would give in.
Who are the Ideal Masters?
I know very little about them. They're mystic entities that lord over the Soul Cairn, controlling every aspect from its fabric to its appearance.
What do they resemble?
Thus, some necromancers believe they are the crystalline structures dotted the Soul Cairn. I believe there's more to it than that.
How so?
I think they transcend what we perceive as a physical form. Perhaps they were once corporeal beings, but they've obviously reached a point where they no longer require a tangible presence.
And the crystals?
Conduits, through which the Ideal Masters speak to their underlings and feed on their victims.
Why would they require sustenance?
The Ideal Masters' weakness is their insatiable hunger for pure souls. It's the reason for the Soul Cairn's existence, and the only leverage a necromancer has when bargaining with them.
What do the Masters provide in return?
The ability to summon powerful undead guardians, as one would conjure an Atronak or Daedra. However, the majority of necromancers that are foolish enough to enter into a bargain with the Ideal Masters wind up here, as harvested souls.
Why haven't you pursued the prophecy?
Harkon's vision is a world plunged in eternal darkness, where the vampire can flourish, and never again fear the tyranny of the sun. What he fails to realize is how much attention would be called to our kind if the prophecy came to fruition.
What sort of attention?
If eternal night fell, there are many who wouldn't stand for it. They would raise armies in attempts to return things to normal. The order of the day would be our destruction, until every last vampire was hunted down and eliminated.
So you prefer living in the shadows?
It's how the vampire has survived for millennia, and the only way we can continue to survive in the future.
Why don't you come back with us?
Even if I could, it would only serve to hinder your efforts. Harkon would likely sense my return to Tamriel. The last thing you need right now is a trail for him to follow.
You said even if I could. Why?
Like Serana, I am a daughter of Cold Harbor, a vampire offspring of Molag Bal. My presence in Tamriel would simply double the risk that Harkon could complete the prophecy.
And if Harkon failed?
The only way I'd even consider returning to Tamriel was if Harkon were not only to fail, but to be destroyed.
Do you hate him that much?
You must understand. He's no longer the man I married all that time. He's obsessed. Insane. Everyone around him fears him as they would a rabid dog. For all of this to end, he must die.
Okay. So, funny enough.
Remember that Harkon's not to be trusted.
Absolutely. Funny enough, you can come back here after you finish all of Dawnguard and bring her out of the Soul Cairn, which a lot of people forget to do. And she just stays in here theoretically forever. So, we're definitely going to do that. I consider that part of this DLC. It's like the very last thing. It's just an extra thing. You don't get any reward for doing it or anything. Oh, hello. You're a dragon.
Stay your weapons. I would speak with you, Quinarin.
I thought you were dead.
Cursed, not dead. Doomed to exist in this form for eternity. Trapped between Laas and Enoch. Between life and death.
Didn't you try to kill me?
The hostility was necessary. I was bound to an oath.
Why are we speaking?
I believe in civility among seasoned warriors, and I find your ear worthy of my words. My claws have rended the flesh of innumerable foes, but I have never once been felled on the field of battle. I therefore name you Quinarin, or Vanquisher in your tongue.
I found you equally worthy.
Your words do me great honor. My desire to speak with you was born from the result of our battle, Quinarin. I merely wish to respectfully ask a favor of you.
What kind of favor?
For countless years I've roamed the Soul Cairn in unintended service to the ideal masters. Before this, I roamed the skies above Tamriel. I desire to return there.
What's stopping you?
I fear that my time here has taken its toll upon me. I share a bond with this dreaded place. If I ventured far from the Soul Cairn, my strength would begin to wane until I was no more.
How could I help?
I will place my name with you, and grant you the right to call my name from Tamriel. Do me this simple honor, and I will fight at your side as your Graze Mazen, your ally, and teach you my Thum.
Just call your name in Tamriel? That's it?
Trivial in your mind, perhaps. For me, it would mean a great deal. I don't require an answer, Quinarin. Simply speak my name to the heavens when you feel the time is right.
How'd you end up in the Soul Cairn?
There was a time when I called Tamriel my home, but those days have long since passed. The Dova roamed the skies, vying for their small slices of territory that resulted in immense and ultimately fatal battles.
Were you a part of all that?
I was. But unlike some of my brethren, I sought solutions outside the norm in order to maintain my superiority. I began to explore what the Dova call Elok Dylan, the ancient forbidden art that you call necromancy.
So you sought the Soul Cairn for answers.
The ideal masters assured me that my powers would be unmatched, that I could raise legions of the undead. In return, I was to serve them as a keeper until the death of the one who calls herself Valerica.
They didn't tell you she was immortal.
I discovered too late that the Ideal Masters favor deception over honor, and had no intention of releasing me from my binding. They had control of my mind, but fortunately they couldn't possess my soul.
Is that why you're free now?
Free? No. I have been here too long, Panarin. The Soul Cairn has become a part of what I am. I can never fully call Tamriel my home again, or I would surely perish. I only hope that you will allow me the precious moments of time there, through your call.
Why do you call me Quaharn?
In my language, the Quanaran is the vanquisher, the one who has bested a fellow Dova in battle.
Fellow Dova? I'm not a dragon.
Even in the Soul Cairn, the defeat of the World Eater has reached my ears, Dovahkiin. You may not be Dova, but the defeat of Alduin earns you the right of title.
Alright. So yeah, we can summon him now. We get his shout, which is... Unfortunately, you need a dragon soul to unlock it. Well, I have two. There we go. So we are going to favorite that. We will use that a little bit. I'm not going to use it a ton, but I believe there's an achievement for summoning him a few times. Both of these copies of Immortal Blood, I thought they were different books. Maybe there are different books somewhere else here? Anyway, there's a couple of things we can do. Actually, only one thing really, but I think I'm missing one of the Reaper Gem fragments. Aren't I? I am. So, one of the areas where there's an Ideal Master we need to return to. And that way, we can actually do the last little thing that's here. Unfortunately, I don't remember where the last one it was. And then we can leave the Soul Cairn. So, I guess I just didn't check one of the things? That just seems very unlike me, but... yeah, I mean, I guess I didn't get it. Is it this one that I missed? I feel like no, I definitely got this, didn't I? Major Heart, Giant Lichen, whatever it is. Got that one. Oh! I went up here. Did I not loot the box? Because I got the page, but I don't remember if I actually looted the box, so let me check that real quick. Because the Ideal Masters, these giant soul gems, they're guarding some Reaper Gem fragments. Did I not get this one? No, that's empty. I got it all. Where? This is a little worrying because, well, frankly, there's not a lot of these. So, should have gotten them all. Did one of them just, like, not spawn or something? Oh, hello. Random mist man. Oh. Bunch of them spawned. Damn this place for having respawning enemies.
Let's see you
There's nothing up here. Is there... Ah, but there's an ideal master over here. Do you have a chest near you? You do. Is there a... No. Did one of them just not spawn?
Hey, watch it!
This is very bad. Because they're supposed to be... Okay, well, we've checked these. Where's my whirlwind sprint? Maybe there's one on the other side of the wall that I haven't gotten? That seems very unlikely, but...
What?
I'm trying to figure out something that makes sense other than I totally whiffed and missed one. Not to say that I couldn't have, but it doesn't seem very like me to just 100% miss something like that. Well, okay. So I want to real quick trade the rest of my husks for tomes. However many I can.
Brought some Sure, got plenty. What am I gonna... Sure, here you go. Can't understand...
I think I could get 2 of them.
Maybe it will do you some good. Well, I've been so busy, I don't know. Sure, here you go.
Do I have any more soul husks, or are we good? 2. Okay, perfect.
Can't understand a
I think that'll be enough for that, and we just leave him alone. I guess I'll cut ahead to when I find that missing Reaper gem, and if I check out the entire place and there are no Reaper gems, I don't know. We'll talk about it, and I'll probably throw one in via console, even though I don't want to. Anyway, I'll cut ahead to when I get it. Oh, it was literally right here. Okay, cool. Well, that was not that long at all. Okay. Now we have the last Reaper Gem fragment that we needed. There's only 3 of them. If you're playing an unpatched version of this game, by the way, they can theoretically respawn. So you could end up with multiple Reaper Gem fragments. You can't really do with them anything other than this one thing that we're going to go do. So they're not really worth it to keep. I am playing with the unofficial patch though, so we will not be getting any extras, which is also part of why I was like, oh goodness, I need to find it like right now before we finish this. Now, what we need to do is we're going to go back to that one area that we saw here. And I believe it's on the other side of the wall before we leave. Let's see. If I look on the local map, actually, should be able to see where it was. Or actually, I guess the local map doesn't show... Does the local map really not show, I guess it doesn't show area. Like... going through areas. Doesn't show doors. Oh, where was it? Or is it like right along the path here? I don't remember it being like super hard to find, so. Here? No, that's just the chest. Is it like over here? There's a dude hanging out up there. Oh goodness, I guess I'll just cut ahead to where I find the place again. Here it is. Okay, so it is actually still on the other side near... it's past the guy who trades. We could have actually just walked here right after, which is dumb. But the Reaper's Lair. We walked into here once before and there was nothing here. However... Now that we have all 3 Reaper gem fragments... Yeah, well, we'll figure that out. We can put in the 3 receptacles, and he spawns the Reaper. Is he difficult? No. But he is a unique encounter that can only be fought here. And there we go. The Reaper is defeated. He drops 3 black soul gems, a Daedra Heart, and Battle Axe. And that's it. And then there's just bone men that support him. Is it a hard fight? No. But still unique that I felt I should show it off. And because of how this works, you can only fight him once. And there it is. The Reaper is defeated. And that soul gem forever just sort of floats here. But you need all 3 of those gem fragments in order to find and fight him. Anyway, finally, we're done with the Soul Cairn. There is actually nothing for us to do here. We can go towards the exit. And by following this, you can see where the Reaper thing is. It's actually really close to where one of the keepers was. All the way in like the southeast area after you go through the broken part of the wall. And that building over there is where the trader is, so sort of gives you an idea of where we are in relation to everything else. That's the one thing I don't like about the Soul Cairn. Everything looks the same, and there's only one path, so it's actually kind of hard to find where, like, you're going. Anyway. Let's get out of here. We've done everything we possibly could, and we learned Dunavir's name. We will be summoning him. I believe there's an achievement related to summoning him like 3 times or something like that. Or there's some sort of lore thing that happens if you summon him 3 times. In any case, we will summon him. He's going to talk to us at the very least. And then, yeah.
What?
We're actually getting... I was going to say close to the end of Dawnguard, but there's still a massive dungeon that we got to go through. Which I'm not 100% looking forward to, but yeah. Because we got to find Oriel's bow. But we do have multiple other scrolls now, which is good. I guess. Maybe not in the long run. We actually missed a bit of dialogue because I had picked up a item before getting to Valerica, and that was the, oh goodness, what was it called? I don't even remember what it was. It was some sort of, like, soul gem thing that we picked up, which, what it does is it removes the active effect, the, like, damaging active effect that would exist otherwise on you. Anyway, we're all done here. All we need to do now is head back and finally use fast travel again because we're out of the Soul Cairn. And yeah. You know, funny enough, we're gonna break the lore a little bit here. Theoretically, it would be a very bad idea to summon him here. Oh, I don't think I can summon him here. Okay. I was about to say, like, Castle Volcar, that's a pretty, big, like, oh, by the way, somebody's at your castle. Just to summon a dragon there randomly. Now that I think about it, I don't even know if you can summon him without hitting a target, because the game has to know what the dragon is attacking? Well, is this considered outside still? Yeah, he won't come here. My pet goes back home. Who is my pet? Oh, I think one of the huskies, right? Let me see. Probably one of the Huskies. That's kind of unfortunate that my, like, follower thing only works on one of the Huskies and the other Husky is considered a pet. Well, let's see. If I go all the way here, there should be a dog pen. No? I hope it's not one of the other dogs. I'll figure that out in a little bit.
I trust your journey was successful.
Yeah, I mean, you know. What do moth priests do exactly?
It is our sacred duty to study the Elder Scrolls. We read these ancient scrolls of prophecy in order to divine the future, and we use that knowledge to aid the Emperor. Sometimes, we venture out into the world in search of more scrolls for our library at the White Gold Tower.
How many do you
The
find?
very purpose that first brought me to Skyrim.
The White Gold Tower?
It is the great spire at the heart of the Imperial City, among the tallest towers in all of Tamriel. The lower floors are home to the Imperial Council, and the Order of Moth Priests occupies the middle floors. The tower suffered damage in the recent war with the Aldmeri Dominion, and is not what it once was. I hope one day to see it restored to its former glory.
What do you know about them?
Not as much as I would like. Even after spending decades of my life in study of the Elder Scrolls, they remain a great mystery to me. It's true for most of my brothers in the Order as well. We don't really know where the scrolls came from or who wrote them. What we do know is that some are born with the special gift to read the Elder Scrolls. These chosen few can divine events of the past and future within the scrolls, though in time, it drives us to blindness. I'm afraid there's not much more to tell. Even today, the Elder Scrolls remain a great enigma.
Well, I brought them.
I'm sorry, my friend. I can no longer be of use in this matter.
Why? What happened?
It's my fault. In my haste to read the first scroll, I neglected the careful preparation required. I thought I'd be able to allay the after effects, but I was wrong. Now I am paying for it.
Oh, that covering on your eyes.
Blind? Yes, I'm afraid so.
Can anything be done to help you?
No, it will have to run its course. And there's always the chance I may never recover.
Then we're finished.
No, there is another way. The question is, how much are you willing to risk to find Oriel's bow?
What do I need to do?
I can't guarantee you'd be free from harm. Becoming blind could be the least of your worries.
Don't worry about that, just tell me.
Scattered across Tamriel are secluded locations known only as Ancestor Glades. There's one in Skyrim in the Pine Forest. Performing the ritual of the Ancestor Moth within the glade should provide the answers you seek.
Explain the
It
ritual.
involves carefully removing the bark from a canticle tree, which will in turn attract ancestor moths to you. Once enough of the moths are following, they'll provide you with the second sight needed to decipher the scrolls.
Gather the bark how?
In keeping with tradition, you must use a specific tool in the Ancestor Glade, an implement known as a draw knife. Every moth priest is taught this ritual, but few ever get the chance to perform it. You should consider yourself fortunate if it works for you.
Do I need to read the scrolls in any particular order?
From what I saw in the vision, the Elder Scroll which foreshadows the defiance of the gods with the blood of mortals is the key to the prophecy.
Okay. What went wrong?
Deciphering one of the Elder Scrolls is nothing like reading a simple book. There is quite a bit of ritual and concentration required. It can take months or even years to complete a single scroll, and even then, months to recover.
How is a moth related to Elder Scrolls?
Well, as I'm sure you figured out by now, it's no mere coincidence that we're named Moth Priests. The voice of the Ancestor Moth has always been an integral part of reading the Elder Scrolls.
Moths barely make a sound, let alone speak.
Oh, the moths don't literally read the scrolls. but they maintain a connection to ancient magic that allows the moth priests to decipher them. If you listen closely when you find the glade, you should be able to hear their song, a soft, harmonious trilling. It's through this ancestral chorus that the moths tap into a form of primal augur and become a conduit for deciphering the scrolls.
How does that help the moth
By
priest?
having the ancestor moths close to the moth priest, they can utilize the conduit and share the moth's augury. Only the most resilient of priests can do it this way. It takes years of practice to interpret the harmony.
Then how do I even stand a chance?
You've come this far, and you've found several Elder Scrolls. Whether you believe it or not, the scrolls have a mind of their own. If they did not want you to find them, they would not allow it. Because of this, I strongly believe you were meant to hear the ancestral chorus. Only one way to find out.
Is it normal for moth priests to go blind?
Sadly, yes. It is the inevitable fate we agree to pursue when reading the Elder Scrolls. It generally does not occur until a moth priest is in his latter years, but in my case, I simply was not preparing myself properly.
What went wrong?
Deciphering
Oh, okay.
can take months or even years to complete a single scroll, and even then,
Okay, well, now we need to find a knife. Where do we find that? Or is it going to be at the glade is what he's saying? Maybe he's saying. Okay. So, I mean, I've probably been to this location at some point. Yeah, the Ancestor Glade. We'll see what's here. And, yeah. We should probably check in with Serana as well. Because, you know, she has things to say about everything that we've been going through.
Do you need something?
Does it bother you that we're working against your father?
Can't say it surprises me. I kind of figured we were heading for this someday. I just didn't know when.
Will it be hard if we have to kill him?
If. I've been assuming that's where all this is going. I've been trying to make my peace with it. Come on, we can talk about this another time.
Okay.
I'm right behind you.
Bet you are. Alright, into here. Oh, wait. What? Steel. Oh, is this actually a owned bed and stuff? Well, it's owned by hunters, I guess. That area. Or maybe that's owned by the dude who was trying to find this.
Not very impressive, is it? If this ends up being a wasted trip, your friend Dexy and I are gonna have some words when we get back.
Okay, well, there's a tree here. Do we go around? Ah, we go around. Across the way. And down here. What's in the depths? That's pretty cool. There are a lot of moths. It's a very, very cool area, I'm not gonna lie. Oh. There's a draw knife. And then we're gonna take bark from the tree. Well, we're trying to attract swarms in any case. We have 2 so far. Oh yeah, you can catch an ancestor moth. Alright, hold on. Should probably catch one of them. There we go, ancestor moth wings. 3 out of 7. Oh, okay. 4 out of 7. This is becoming a little hard to see. 5 out of 7. Very difficult to see, actually. In fact, in the way, I think most people would say. And one more swarm somewhere. I think I saw it like up here. Okay.
Whoa. I think that might have been what we were waiting for. Let's head back up there and see if we can read the scrolls.
Alright, enter the column of light and read the Elder Scroll. Well, only one way to check. Where is it? Oh, they're actual books, I think. Reading all 3 of them. That looks like a map. Whew. Well, that was an experience. Does it count us as having read all of the scrolls now? No. I'm trying to read this one, but it won't do anything to us. For us. Just makes you slightly blind for a little bit. Okay. Well, now I've read all of them, technically. Hello. I can't help them. Because the door is closed. Did something happen? Because I don't think this was supposed to happen this way. Especially because I can't get through. What the hell? Why is it closed? What the hell? Did it break? Well...
Sorry it had to be this way. Ran off, I suppose.
Okay. What the hell is going on?
I'm right behind you.
Are you okay? Almost thought I lost you there. You went as white as the snow.
That felt
I
strange.
could see it in your eyes. You looked about 1,000 leagues away. What about Ariel's bow? Do you know where we can find it?
It's in a place called Darkfall Cave.
It's almost over. We can finally put an end to this ridiculous prophecy. Where is this Darkfall Cave?
The scroll gave me its exact
Let's get
location.
going. I want to get there before my father has a chance to track us down.
I think they were all supposed to spawn on the other side of that. What do you know about Ariel's bow?
Not much. If you read any history, it shows up from time to time, but it's a hard thing to track. As far as I know, though, it's never been held by a vampire. That would be a new one.
What does that have to do with the sun?
Ariel is one of the elven gods. He's with the rest of them in Aetherius. The way I've heard it, the sun represents the connection from our world to theirs. Supposedly, the bow draws its energy from the sun itself, which is why it shows up in that prophecy.
What exactly does it do?
And that part, I don't know. Once we have it, hopefully it'll be obvious.
Okay. All of my people survived this, right? Like, I don't have a dead. Yeah, okay, yeah, we're good. Didn't even need to fight. Alrighty then. Alright, let's go get the bow. This, I remember being a long dungeon. Now, Darkfall Cave is all the way up here? Yes. Thankfully, right next to Castle Volkihar, or Volkihar, or whatever it's called. So we don't actually have to go that far.
Still here.
And in we go. It's nice having located all of the areas on the map before playing. And now Darkfall Cave, I remember as being basically just full of Falmer, I think.
That'll teach you.
I believe it's Falmer. Ah, that's like the way out, I think. Is that a burnt? Oh, desiccated corpse. Everyone's with me, right? Wait. Oh no. Where's the mage? Oh, you're right there. Okay. Everyone's with me. I thought the mage died for a second and I was like, oof. That's awkward. Okay, well. That's the end of this place. Or is it? There is, in fact, quite a stream. Bunch of spiders that are going down the waterfalls, too. Oops. There we go. That was kind of cool. Lots of spiders, huh? Oh, look at the tiny one. Any more? There's definitely things hanging from the ceiling. Whether or not there are more spiders, however. Yeah, there's a big one. I never trust a lit brazier. Why is there a lit brazier here? Okay, well, there's a skeleton with gold, but also treasure chest? Well, look at that. I'll take all of that. Alright, what's in here? Oh. The Dead Briton. Note from Darkfall Cave. Don't mind if I do. Sister, I know that you'll come to find me, but it will be too late. If you find this letter, get out of this forsaken cave as soon as possible. We were fools to think that we could live so close to such creatures and live so peacefully. I should have headed back to camp with you after we placed the torches down here. I thought these trolls would be different, that they would somehow understand that we didn't want to hurt them. I am now cornered, and it's only a matter of time before one of the trolls decides to finish me off. I hope it is a quick death. Farewell, my dear sister. Well, that's, unfortunate. Now, the thing is this sister? Oh, that's sister. Well, she killed some of the trolls, it looks like.
These people were... Why would anyone want to set up camp here?
You know, that's a very good question. Also, that looks very suspicious, like a door. Let's see what's down here. Those rocks coming after me? Yeah, they are. Probably recharge this. Alright, let's see what's down here. He said the trolls cornered him. There's trolls down here? Big area. Very big area. Alright, hold on. Maybe this is the way to go. What's up here? Oh, nothing. Okay. The brazier that was knocked over. What about going up? What do we find going up? Part of a cave. More going up and up and up and up. Is this an exit? I forget what this is, honestly. Ah, okay. So this is the first shortcut back to where we started. Okay. That first wall where I said, that looks like a thing. Okay. So that's the way out. And likely this is going to be another shortcut back. Okay. Go all the way down here. So we should keep our eye out for someone that got cornered by trolls. Somewhere in here there's another dead body. Don't entirely know where, but there is. Oh, I forgot about him. Okay. That's right. Ah, here's the other dude. Oh, I think they ate this man alive. Yeah, there's not much left of the brother. I think the bones here you can presume are him. But let's continue going this way. Because we have someone to see. Hello, person.
Come forward. You have nothing to fear here.
What's that? What now?
Oh, did you turn into it?
Right
Okay.
behind you.
Well, hello, person. What are you doing here?
I am Knight Paladin Gelabor. Welcome to the Great Chapel.
This cave is a temple to Ariel?
Oriel, Oriel, Alkosh, Akatosh. So many different names for the sovereign of the Snow Elves.
Snow elves? You're a Falmer?
First Snow Elf, The name Falmer usually holds a negative meaning to most travelers. Those twisted creatures you call Falmer, I call the Betrayed.
I imagine you know why we're here.
Of course. You're here for Auriel's bow. Why else would you be here? I can help you get it, but first, I must have your assistance.
Do I have a choice?
Absolutely. You could turn around and travel back from wherever you started empty-handed, or you could assist me.
What type of assistance do you need?
Archcurate Vertha, my brother.
Kill your brother, why?
Kinship between us is gone. I don't understand what he's become, but he's no longer the brother I once knew. It was the Betrayed. They did something to him. I just don't know why Auriel would allow this to happen.
What exactly did the Betrayed do?
Swept into the Chantry without warning, and began killing everyone without pause.
Didn't you fight back?
The Chantry was a place of peaceful worship. I led a small group of paladins, but we were no match for the Betrayed's sheer numbers. They slaughtered everyone, and stormed the inner sanctum where I believe they corrupted Vertha.
You don't even know if he's alive.
He's alive. I've seen him, but something's wrong. He never looks as though he's in pain or under duress. He just stands there and watches, as though waiting.
Have you tried getting into the inner sanctum?
Leaving the way shrines unguarded would be violating my sacred duty as a knight paladin of Auriel. And an assault on the Betrayed guarding the inner sanctum would only end with my death.
Way shrine?
Yes, let me show you.
I've got your back.
You sleep here? What do you eat? Oh.
So this is snow elf magic. Incredible.
This structure is known as a way shrine. They were used for meditation and for transport when the Chantry was a place of enlightenment. Prelates of these shrines were charged with teaching the mantras of Auriel to our initiates.
What's that basin in the center signify?
Once the initiate completed his mantras, he'd dip a ceremonial ewer in the basin at the way shrine's center and proceed to the next way shrine.
So these initiates had to lug around a heavy pitcher of water. Marvelous. How long would they have to do that?
Well, once the initiate's enlightenment was complete, he'd bring the ewer to the Chantry's inner sanctum. Pouring the contents of the ewer into the sacred basin of the sanctum would allow him to enter for an audience with the Archcurate himself.
All that just to end up dumping it. It makes no sense to me.
It's symbolic. I don't expect you to understand.
So, let's get this straight. We need to do all that nonsense to get into the temple so we can kill your brother and claim Ariel's bow.
I know how it all sounds. But if there was another way, I'd have done it long ago. The only way to get to my brother is by following in the Initiate's footsteps and traveling from way shrine to way shrine, just as they did. The first lay at the end of Darkfall Passage, a cavern that represents the absence of enlightenment.
How many more way shrines are there?
There are 5 in total, spread far apart across the Chantry.
These caves must be massive.
Caves? Oh no. The Chantry encompasses far more than a few caves, as you'll soon discover. But before I send you on your way, you'll need the Initiate's ewer.
So I need to fill this at each way
Once
shrine.
you've located a way shrine, there'll be a spectral prelate tending to it. They will allow you to draw the waters from the shrine's basin, as if you've been enlightened.
I'll be off then.
This may be the last time we're able to converse. If you have any questions before you leave, I suggest you ask them. Otherwise, all I can do now is grant you my hopes for a safe journey.
Okay.
I'm right behind you.
Well, looks like we've got some things we need to do. I kind of like how they're all like hero posing. Anyways, we're going to go do all of this next time. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.